Good morning, guys. Today I'm taking you to New Orleans because what we want to look at today is the War of 1812. So here in New Orleans was the last battle, and when we say last battle, technically it was the post-battle of the War of 1812, because by the time the Battle of New Orleans actually occurs in January, the war had actually ended. The news had just not reached here that, hey, guess what, the war is over. Okay, so what we're looking at right here is part of a plantation that had been established just outside of New Orleans. So we're maybe 5 miles outside of New Orleans City. Okay, so in this plantation, it's a sugar plantation. They had several compounds, several houses, and Andrew Jackson, when he comes here to defend this area, he takes over one of the main houses. He actually fills it with gunpowder and everything because he says, we do not want the British to gain control of this area, so we'll just blow everything up first. But in the other house, he actually takes command and he's getting ready for this major battle. Because why? The Mississippi River is one of the most vital parts of New Orleans, of America. If you control the Mississippi River, you essentially have access to the entire American interior, which we don't really want, because if you have access to the American interior, you ultimately can take over America from the back. Okay, so we're going to defend the British against the British. We want to make sure that the British don't control this area. So Andrew Jackson, as he sweeps into the Battle of New Orleans, he's going to grab freed slaves. He's going to grab some Native Americans. He's going to grab whomever he can get, volunteers, mostly from Kentucky and Tennessee and further southern states, and he's going to bring them here to this area, and he's going to essentially attempt to defend it. He's actually fairly successful. Technically, this is a win in the War of 1812, but once again, it does technically happen at the end of the war, after the war is over. However, why does this matter? Because Andrew Jackson is going to be considered a hero for defending this plantation, and therefore New Orleans and access to the Mississippi River. So what we've got behind us then, this was not actually here at the time, but it gives you kind of an idea of what it would have looked like. So this was actually built in the later 1800s, owned by another person, but this plantation and everything behind it is part of the battlefield for the War of 1812.